As we're looking through the fire, we can see just what we've done. Never about to give it up.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today is December 15th, 2023. Whispers in the Wall just released 2 days ago. Did you just step into a time machine? Yes. Yes, you did. I will be and have been probably pumping out melee influence related videos for the next several weeks or, well, several months now. Perhaps even some got patched, and I'm gonna guess the day this video releases is either late January or early February, which should coincide with the new cert patch. Now, why am I making this video? I foresee some builds possibly no longer working over the next few months, and I'm making these videos in advance in case things change. Don't worry, a couple more of these time machine videos may crop up in the future. This video is about infinite scaling glaives. The utility talked about today is meant to be applied as a replacement to Xoris for level 9000 runs, but it also easily works for base steel path, due to being so simple. Demonstrations will be done including emerald shards for increased corrosive stacks, but are obviously not required for base steel path, and these can be used on any frame, with any helmet, or build. You are going to, or have probably already seen my Xoris video I made on the same day as this video. How I showed Xoris being completely busted with melee influence and melee vortex, and I'm probably going to, or have shown an infinite 12 times combo Xoris not long afterwards. The purpose of the 12 times combo Xoris was to benefit from a fully stacked Weeping Wounds. Alone, this monstrous status scales up in an insane amount of electric procs due to Xoris being force proc electric. But with Emerald Shards, Xoris can also full strip with a single throw. This is because if you mod Corrosive on Xoris, it still force procs electric, but only has corrosive damage typing, meaning the only natural status proc possible is Corrosive. Therefore, throwing an infinite 12 times Xoris with Weeping Wounds into the crowd most likely inflicts 14 corrosive procs instantly to 100% armor strip, while also applying 30 to 50 electric procs and killing everything. This scales all the way to level 9k, and works so well because Xoris has a 12 meter explosion radius with volatile quick return, with 0% falloff, catching as many enemies as possible in the AoE to amplify melee influence cross-chaining. But there's a problem. I had people ask, how do you accomplish this without infinite 12 times? What if I don't want to run negative combo duration? What if I don't want to grind 100,000 standing to get Xoris back from Smara since I trashed it? This video is for you. The Falcor. This weapon is always craftable and does not require 100,000 standing to acquire, and does not need infinite 12 times combo to work. Falcor is very different to Xoris in two important ways. 1. Xoris only force procs electric on heavy detonation AoE. Falcor only force procs electric in AoE when the throw hits an enemy. This means Falcor does not need to heavy attack to force proc electric with the explosion. And 2. Xoris has 12 meter blast radius with volatile quick return, whereas Falcor has only 9 meters even with this mod, but that's okay because we are not using a heavy detonate Falcor. The reason why Falcor works so well is because we're using a rebound build today instead, volatile rebound. This makes up for Xoris having 12 meters AoE because Xoris can only hit once, whereas Falcor's rebound can now hit multiple times. Once melee influence is triggered, it spreads all elemental procs within 20 meters. Falcor hitting a group of enemies 2-3 times with a 6 meter AoE is just as good as Xoris hitting a group of enemies just once at 12 meters AoE for the purpose of spreading number of status effects naturally, and in this case, that's corrosive procs. As you can see, Falcor has no problem with killing these enemies instantly despite having significantly lower electric proc count. Falcor loses the heavy attack combo multiplier Xoris had on 12 times explosions, but Falcor still instantly full strips enemies and demonstrably still has way more than enough damage to kill. By using a bounce build, we're still able to maintain 12 times combo on Falcor, which even adds to and refreshes combo duration on hit, easily spreading 14 corrosive procs and kills the full stripped enemies with the sheer amount of electric proc scaling. So let's see how that Falcor is built. Remember that this can be used on any frame, with any build, with any helmet. Though if you intend to use glaives in general, I would strongly recommend using either Arcane Fury or using Swift Momentum Aura so that you don't need to have to rely on Killing Blow to double stack heavy Windup. You can even build combo using a Rhoda or Tandem Bond Companion still, if throwing the Falcor around to build combo takes too long for you. There are only slight differences compared to my 12 times infinite Xoris build, which I will explain. We run Voltaic Strike, because build 1's goal is to push status as high as possible to reach 14 corrosive stacks as easily and consistently, combined with Weeping Wounds also giving plus 440%. Also, the Force Proc Electric still scales off electric mods on DPS for the build, so dots deal more damage. Corrosive is mainly used for the status effect here and not DPS, so I use a 60/60 Toxin instead of Prime Fever Strike. Feel free to use Prime Fever Strike if you want to burn more Forma. It may kill slightly sooner at base steel path on raw damage to enemies that don't need full strip, but for endurance, Virulent Scourge will always be better here. Volatile Rebound is obviously the most important mod so that our bounces explode in a 6-meter AoE. Without this mod, the build doesn't work because bounces won't explode at all. Banes are once again super important because melee influence triple dips them for 3.72 times more damage on your electric dots. The final slaw on the bottom left is Flex. This is normally killing blow on the Xoris build. Today, you have several options. I personally recommend using Blood Rush here for consistency, and using Swift Momentum for plus 30% heavy windup speed combined with Amalgam Organ Shatter cut the windup to just 0.63 seconds, without needing Killing Blow. If you actually use Killing Blow instead of the Swift Momentum Aura, then that would cut it down to only 0.55 seconds. Alternatively, you can use Prime Pressure Point here or Sacrificial Pressure. That setup has the highest damage but means non-crits are possible. If you instead want to go pure electric DPS that doesn't rely on Emerald Shards, this is what you would change. Replace Melee Prowess for Power Throw, use Shocking Touch instead of Voltaic Strike, and replace Virulent Scourge with Killing Blow. Running only one elemental mod means we now always fit Killing Blow and no longer have to run Swift Momentum if you don't want to. Rivens are a big discussion for Falcor because its disposition is so high. If you want to go the Emerald Shard route, status chance is big to significantly reduce the amount of enemies hit required to full strip, alongside crit chance and crit damage. Heavy efficiency is also a legitimate choice since it gives you the option to heavy AoE detonate for massive raw damage, a level cap if needed when full stripped, and also provides an extra AoE instance for corrosive stacks. Falcor can roll 90% heavy efficiency easily by itself already, meaning you wouldn't need focus energy or reflex coil. For a pure electric DPS option that doesn't need as much status for Emerald Shards, all the same stats as earlier are viable, except status chance being unnecessary. It gives too little compared to Weeping Wounds as just a source of damage, rather than trying to hit the 14 corrosive stat cap. Electric now is also a viable stat to roll though, as it will significantly increase damage per electric stack. And that's all you need to know. It's a simple plug and play. Use the right Bane for triple dip and spam throws in mission, never heavy detonate. Building combo can be done with Rhoda or actually bouncing the Glaive around on throws or grouping enemies up and ground finishing them, and all of these might take some time, or tend a bond with your pet. Basically, it plays very similar to the Xoris setup that I am probably going to be showcasing in the near future, or well for you guys, that I showed several months ago, and even can use the same tools if you want to take it to 12 times combo faster. And as a final reminder, shards are not needed for base steel path. There, I would actually recommend skipping Corrosive and going full electric if you want to use Falcor, replacing Virulent Scourge for primed Pressure Point. So what are we learning today? That Falcor is amazing with melee influence and doesn't require infinite 12 times combo to work for infinite scaling like Xoris. It may not be as powerful, but nothing in the game is strong enough to need the 12 times scaling a Xoris heavy detonation has on full strip. This also doesn't mean Xoris is bad, or that the 12 times Xoris build isn't worth using. This is just an alternative to the Xoris I showcased, which many might prefer for a variety of reasons, especially if it's in the future when I choose to make this video public due to changes. And finally, yes, a 2 times combo pure electric or viral electric Xoris is still insanely strong, with melee influence as well. As I said, this Falcor Emerald Shard tech is those that want something stronger, or an alternative to the Emerald Shard Xoris for level 9k if that infinite 12 times combo build stops working. Cheers! If this is your first time watching, feel free to leave like or better yet subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. 79.5% of you are not subscribed. I'm trying my best to get you new information out always as soon as possible, like I've been doing with the Whispers in the Wall update. Stick around if you want to see interesting memes and builds on a nearly daily basis. You don't want to miss out on any of that, do you? That'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching and see you all next time.